2026 FIFA World Cup African Playoff. The match will be played at the Moulay Hassan Stadium in Rabat, Morocco on Sunday, November 16 at 8 p.m. Nigerian time. So the match will be played tomorrow, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. And what a cracker of a match it will be between Nigeria and DR Congo. The Super Eagles of Nigeria defeated the Super Eagles of Nigeria defeated Gabon 4-1 in the semi-final to get to the final. Why for DR Congo, they defeated Cameroon 1-0 in the semi-final to get to the final of this African playoff. And then in the match between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Gabon, the Super Eagles of Nigeria really showed character. They exhibited character on the field because they were able to score 3 goals in the extra time of that match. Because after the match ended 1-0 and they were headed for the extra time, and some people were skeptical, like they didn't really know what to expect in the extra time of the match. And nobody knew what to expect. But then the Super Eagles of Nigeria got to the extra time and they had a commanding performance and they took all their goals clinical. They were so clinical with all their goals. Although in the match between Nigeria and Gabon, the first half of the match ended goalless. In the first half, the Super Eagles of Nigeria had a couple of chances. They had a couple of chances and they missed those chances. But in the second half, they came and they scored. They scored in the second half. Akko Adams, the man who plays for Sevilla FC in Spain, scored the first goal for Nigeria in that match, and that was in the second half. And then towards the end of the match, when everybody thought that Nigeria had this under wrap, equalized to make it 1-1, and so the match ended 1-1. And also towards the end of the match, Victor Osimhen had a chance and then he missed it. But then we had to go to the extra time. The match straight to extra time, and in the extra time, the Super Eagles of Nigeria really had a commanding performance. It was a comprehensive victory for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They really proved themselves very well. Chidera Ejuke scored the first goal for Nigeria after a very good pass from Wilfred Ndidi, and then the second goal was scored by Victor Osimhen, and what a pass by Benjamin Frederick. And then before we could say anything again, the Super Eagles scored the third goal in the extra time to make it 4 goals to the Super Eagles in the match. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria won that match by 4-1. And what a performance by the Super Eagles of Nigeria. In the other match between Cameroon and DR Congo that was played later that night, we saw Congo defeating Cameroon by 1-0. Congo scored at the stopping time of the match. But then in the match, Cameroon had a couple of chances. Cameroon had a couple of chances in the match, but then DR Congo stood firm and they were solid in defense. They were solid defensively and they were disciplined defensively. And when they had their chance, they took their chance and then they won the match by 1-0. So DR Congo scored at the stopping time of the match. So the match between DR Congo and Cameroon ended 1-0. So as a result, the Super Eagles of Nigeria and then DR Congo will play each other in the final to decide who will represent Africa at the Intercontinental Playoff that will hold next year in North America. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be taking on DR Congo. They are called Leopards of DR Congo, and the match will be played at the Moulay Hassan Stadium in Rabat, Morocco on Sunday. That's tomorrow, Sunday, 8 p.m. Nigeria time. The match will be played by 8 p.m. I'm talking about DR Congo. They qualified for the playoff by finishing second in Group B behind Senegal. Senegal finished with 24 points, while DR Congo finished with 22 points. So DR Congo finished 2 points behind Senegal. So they finished as runners-up from Group B, while the Super Eagles of Nigeria finished second from Group C behind the Bafana of South Africa. And in the World Cup qualifiers, DR Congo won 7 matches, they drew 1 match, and they lost 2 matches out of 10 matches. They scored 15 goals and conceded 8 goals, while the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers won 4 matches, drew 5 matches, lost 1 match. The Super Eagles scored 15 goals and conceded 8 goals. DR Congo scored 15 goals, conceded 6 goals, while the Super Eagles of Nigeria scored 15 goals and conceded 8 goals. Now, talking about FIFA ranking, DR Congo are ranked 60 in the world, while the Super Eagles of Nigeria are ranked 41 in the world. And the last time the Super Eagles of Nigeria and DR Congo played against each other was in 2018, where they both played a 1-1 draw between each other. I'm talking about head-to-head record between Nigeria and DR Congo. In the last 6 meetings between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and DR Congo, the Super Eagles of Nigeria have recorded 2 wins over DR Congo. DR Congo recorded 3 wins over the Super Eagles, and there has been 1 draw between them. That's talking about head-to-head record between the two teams. There has been 1 draw between them. And talking about the World Cup, DR Congo have only been to the World Cup once, and that was in 1974, while the Super Eagles of Nigeria have been to the World Cup 6 times. The Super Eagles of Nigeria were in the World Cup in USA 94, they were in the World Cup in France 1998, they were in the World Cup in Korea, Japan 2002, they were in the World Cup in South Africa in 2010, they were in the World Cup in Brazil in 2014, and they were in the World Cup in Russia in 2018. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria have been to the World Cup 6 times, and their best result at the World Cup was getting to the round of 16 in USA 94, in France 1998, and also in Brazil 2014. Now, for DR Congo, they've got players. The first player they've got is Chancellor Mbemba, that's their captain. Their captain who plays for Ligue 1 club Lille in France. And then talking about their captain, he's a defender, and he scored the only goal. He scored the winning goal for DR Congo against Cameroon. He scored the winning goal for DR Congo against Cameroon. That's talking about their captain, Chancellor Mbemba. And then let's look at the other players. Let's look at the other players to watch out for in DR Congo. We have Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the former Manchester United man, who now plays for West Ham United as a right back. That's talking about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. For Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he made his debut for DR Congo in September 2025 in the 4-1 win over South Sudan national football team. And then, of course, he plays as a defender. That's talking about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Then another player they've got, okay, I've already mentioned their captain, Chancellor Mbemba. They also have Theo Bongonda. For Theo Bongonda, he plays for Sparta Moscow in Russia. That's where he plays for. And then in this World Cup qualifiers, he has already scored 2 goals in the World Cup qualifiers. And he also scored when DR Congo defeated Sudan 1-0 in the decisive win. That was a crucial match for them when they defeated Sudan 1-0 on match day 10 in the World Cup qualifiers. They defeated Sudan 1-0. So Theo Bongonda scored the only goal for DR Congo in that match. Another player to watch out for in DR Congo is Ungal Ayel Mukau, who also plays for Lille in France, and he plays as a central midfielder for Congo. They also have Arthur Maswaku, who plays for Sunderland. He plays for Sunderland, and he plays as a defender for DR Congo. And they also have Ezel Twazembe. For Twazembe, he plays for Burnley FC. That's where he plays for, Burnley FC. And he featured in 9 of the 10 matches in the qualifiers for DR Congo. So he played 9 out of 10 matches. That's talking about Twazembe. He played 9 out of 10 matches for DR Congo in the World Cup qualifiers. The coach of DR Congo is Sebastian Desabre. That's the name of the coach of DR Congo, Sebastian Desabre. And we know that the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria is Eric Chell. And then talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they've also got quality players like Victor Osimhen, the Galatasaray man, who scored the brace in a match against Congo, in a match against Gabon. I'm talking about Victor Osimhen. One thing I like, or one thing people like about him, is his charisma and his determination. Look at the chances he missed in the match against DR Congo, in the match against Gabon, beg your pardon. I mean, including missing one-on-one chance, but then he was able to redeem himself. He was able to make up. He was able to amend for those missed chances, and he scored goals. I mean, he even scored a technical goal. You know, he scored a more technical goal than the one he missed. That's talking about Victor Osimhen, and he was able to really correct his mistakes. That is one thing about him. Victor Osimhen is a player who likes to give his heart out for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Very committed, very patriotic, and then he plays with so much commitment for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and he was able to make up for his miss in that match. Another player who is also good for the Super Eagles and who is a new discovery lately is Benjamin Fredericks. That man, is a very young guy, and then the way he plays from the back, apart from defending very well that day, he also attacked well. He wasn't satisfied with, he was so solid defensively, and he also added an extra work by making attacking moves. I mean, that guy is very impressive. Talking about Benjamin Fredericks, he's a very young man and has really proven his worth in the Super Eagles. Very good man. Another player who impressed is Wilfred Ndidi. I'm talking about Wilfred Ndidi. He was yellow carded in the match against Gabon. He was given a yellow card, and so because he already had because he already had the yellow card in the World Cup qualifiers, so people were thinking that he would miss out of the match tomorrow. But then FIFA has come out to say that all these cards don't count. I mean, any card gotten during the World Cup qualifier will not count in the playoff. So all those ones are gone with the qualifier. So the playoff is a different ball game now. So as a result of that, we are going to get to see Wilfred Ndidi tomorrow. So that's good news for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It's really good news for Nigeria. We are going to get to see Wilfred Ndidi play tomorrow once again in the midfield. He's going to marshal the midfield tomorrow once again. So we are going to get to see Wilfred Ndidi marshal the midfield tomorrow. So that's good news. The yellow card he got against Gabon would not count this time around. So it's just one yellow card. So we are going to get to see Wilfred Ndidi tomorrow in the match against DR Congo. He was really brilliant in that match. And then talking about Chijera Ejuke as well, fantastic as well. It was really fantastic. And then Alex Iwobi, okay, it was okay as well. Calvin Bassey was brilliant at the back as well. Zaidu Sanusi, he played a very good game as well. Akko Adams, I mean, when we needed the goal, he gave us the goal. He took that goal with so much composure, so much determination, composure, and then it was really brilliant. Talking about the Sevilla man, Akko Adams, it was really brilliant in the way he dispatched the goal into the net. Very brilliant and well-taken goal. Clinical goal by Akko Adams. So the Super Eagles of Nigeria really tried in that match. The winner of the match between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and DR Congo this Sunday will go ahead to represent Africa at the Intercontinental Playoff. And don't forget that at the Intercontinental Playoff, it's only 2 tickets that are available for the World Cup. We have only 2 tickets available for the World Cup. So we hope that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will win tomorrow's match and will pick one of the 2 tickets available at the Intercontinental or Intercompetition Playoff. The Super Eagles of Nigeria should just bring in their A game in tomorrow's match. They cannot afford this time around to relax or be complacent. They just have to go all out and win this match for Nigerians. At the last World Cup in Qatar, the Super Eagles were not there. They missed narrowly after losing, or after the Black Stars of Ghana picked the tickets to the World Cup ahead of Nigeria based on away goal rules. So the Super Eagles missed narrowly out of the World Cup in Qatar. So this time around, we want them to qualify. They can do it. Looking at what they did looking at their performance against Gabon, especially in the extra time. One good thing I really like about the match is that the Super Eagles of Nigeria going into the extra time. Not too many people gave them a chance because some people thought that they would be fatigued or they would be tired, but they came out renewed. They came out strengthened, determined. They were even more technical. We saw the way they were spraying passes, and then we saw the way they were highly technical. Kudos to the technical crew and the Super Eagles of Nigeria for that great performance against Gabon. So we want them to replicate the same performance tomorrow. The only option tomorrow is a victory. Victory is the only option. They have to win that match. That is the only option in tomorrow's match for them to proceed to the World Cup, for them to move closer to the World Cup. Victory is not negotiable. That's the only option in the match. We want to win the Super Eagles of Nigeria all the best in this match. We want to win the coach Eric Chell all the best in this match. And all the boys, Victor Osimhen, Calvin Bassey, Alex Iwobi, Ademola Lookman, Benjamin Frederick, Stanley Nwabali, and all of them, we wish them all the best in tomorrow's match against DR Congo. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate. The match will be played 8 p.m. tomorrow. 8 p.m. tomorrow, November 16th, Sunday. Is a girl Topsy signing out. Thank you.